Hi guys, so I was doing an analysis on what's happening in the dating space for us women, and what seems to be the problem in terms of us not winning in the dating space. And this is what I found. So remember when we are young, guys, we'll always say things like, oh, I want to get married by the age of 25 and have 2 kids by the age of 30, right? And then we'll say, oh, he must be a provider and he must be successful. And then we will live happily ever after from the age of 35 upwards with our husband. Sharp. Now we are in varsity, right? And then when we are in varsity, the successful men come, right? Because remember, in varsity we are born at 21, 25, and we are just peaking. We are in our element. We are very highly fertile, of course, and very feminine, because remember, we haven't been exposed to the job market. We're just still very fragile, right? Then they come, the providers, right? In varsity, and they represent everything that we wanted a man to represent. They are successful, they have money and are doing well. They've got a house. So all we're seeing is husband material, right? Husband material, great. Now we have our husband material, and then the broke guys come. I don't actually like this broke guys terminology, but we'll use it. Guys who don't have money, guys who are still trying to work their way up, right? When broke men come, right, they see Norman. The women they want, which is these ones, right, are actually more attracted to these men. So it means they can't get these women because these men are already winning at taking these women. So this builds some sort of resentment for them. Okay, it builds some sort of resentment for these men and for these ladies, because how dare they not see that these guys like them, right? Fine, we'll pack them for now. Then these ones, because they have found their dream men who represent a future they've always wanted, they then start dating these men, right? And these men, because they are now at their peak, right? They are now beginning to enjoy life while having to accommodate the idea that, they have a woman now in their lives. But some of them will commit, okay, have kids with these young girls. They will have kids, get married, right? Excuse my handwriting, guys. But some won't get married. So these girls, depending on the situation, whether they committed, gotten married, let's say they committed and gotten married, they will stay with these young girls, but they will not be faithful, unfortunately, because these men who are at their peak are actually who these broke men used to complain about. These broke men worked their way up to peak so they can get these women. So once they are here, they need to go through a backlog of women, sort of like a hit list. Because now every woman wants a piece of them. Great. So when these women see now these gents are not faithful, some of them divorce and go back home. And because in most cases, these would be a 50-50 marriage or community, marriage in community of property. These men then ends up losing a lot of their money to these women because of the divorce, right? And for those that are not married, they still continue to go back to this cycle of making sure that the needs that were not met when they were broke are met in this area. So these gents will be in varsities, they will be in clubs, they will be in church, they will be in schools, they will be in malls, They will be everywhere on a hunt. On a hunt for young, fresh blood, which they couldn't have when they were broke. Right. So a part of the reason these men end up, pursuing women so much in the pace they're pursuing these women is for one of the reasons that there is resentment. So some of the ladies who get dated by these men fall prey to the fact that these men have built up resentment on the fact that these ladies didn't want them when they didn't have money. But guess what? They didn't stay entirely single, these men, because there were women who were willing to date them and actually build a life with them, which is what I will touch on in part 2. So then you wonder why women start having babies when they were young. You get a young girl who has 2 or 3 kids before the age of 30, or after the age of 30. It is because they were let down by the dream which they had when they were still young. So part 2 will come up when I speak about women who have dated broke men or men who do not have money.